Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Bites Weekly Show. I am your host, DC, and as always, I have my co-host here with me, my best buddy, Ketsoren. What's up, Ketsoren?
Oh, nothing. Just hanging out from a long day.
It has been. It's been a long week. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sleepy.
very true.
So,
Um,
before we start the show, and I just want to give a shout out because, first of all, we got some exciting stuff today. But the first thing I want to talk about is we hit affiliate, which I know a lot of you know if you follow our channels. But we hit affiliate, which is huge news, and we already have our first subscriber, John, number one fan, the one who done it. He's our first sub, so thank you so much. He's also a VIP. He was a VIP before before he even
before
started subscribing.
VIP started, yeah.
Yeah, because he's literally here for every show. So shouts out to John and thanks for subbing, man. Appreciate you a lot. So our new sub goal is now 5 subscribers. So if anyone's feeling generous, then feel free. But yeah, so how are you doing tonight, Ketsoren?
Pretty good, man. Just a long day, and you know what? I saw the highlight of my day, and we'll just start off this way again.
Okay.
The highlight of my day, I saw at least 20 cows again. And it was all in passing, and it's that meme. Can you do a quick picture, like look up that meme of my face when I go by cows? And like it should be like the first one. I swear to
Face.
God, that is how I am when I see cows. I'm like, cows, and I'm gone, right? And they're just hanging out, doing whatever they were doing. But I saw at least 20 cows today. But this week, I saw, I'm gonna say well over 50, which is
Okay.
exciting for me because I live in the city. So when I go driving,
Is it
I I,
I
I see.
I don't think I see the meme. I see like some cows that look angry when I type that in. But
Well, I'm still interested in that one, but it's like my face when I say hi to cows or see cows or something, and that is the exact meme that
oops.
it is me. It is what's happening.
Oh.
John just said cows over frogs.
No.
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 The
I'll take
answer would
that
always,
VIP away from you, sir. I have the
yeah.
power.
He does have the look. John, you made it how many minutes into this stream before you decided to like get handled?
Well,
No, frogs are always over cows, but cows are always good.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Uh, sure. So, we have a
Just
lot.
pictures of
It's
cows.
just pictures of cows. We have a lot to get to tonight. There's a lot that's happened, especially because we didn't talk about any of the news the prior week because of my birthday stream. Which, by the way, I want to start with a little anecdote as well about that. So, you know how we talked about Lord Snocky?
Yes.
Well, shouts outs to Archangel. I won't say his real name, but he listened to the show and he led me to Lord Snocky.
Are you serious?
Lord Snocky is a moderator for the KOTOR subreddit, the one about the game. He also he
No.
also is the creator of the KOTOR game Discord channel. So he actually did take over KOTOR.
Oh my God. So just a quick for those who are listening. Last week we had a show about KOTOR, and like basically KOTOR was the group that kind of started Banana Shell, like over the course of years.
Yeah.
A lot of the original members from KOTOR are still or are now in Banana Shell, and we still keep in contact. Lord Snocky at the time was basically like this troll who was like, vote for Lord Snocky for the council to be a mod during the time.
Yeah.
And so now we know from last episode to now, so it took a week. That is crazy.
It is.
He is a moderator for that subreddit in
the
Reddit.
the KOTOR subreddit. Yeah, like the game KOTOR, and then also the KOTOR Discord channel, which he created. So yeah, he legitimately took over
find
KOTOR.
him.
I
I'm gonna
could
find him.
I could give you his info, but I'll do it off stream because he's still a pretty private guy. No surprises there. But yeah, so there's a lot to get to tonight. We have a special guest tonight, Trashy Art. So I ran into, so I bought some Becca art off of her from Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I ran into her at GalaxyCon Columbus, met her, fell in love with her art. And yeah, so we're gonna have her on the second half of the show. Talk to her about her stuff. She does some really cool stuff. We'll show off all of her art and everything on the second half of the show. Another
Yeah.
quick housekeeping notes here. So we have our own bits on the channel called Bananas now. You can earn bananas by watching the stream, by commenting, and some other stuff. You can look up how to do it. I don't remember all the ways you can earn them. You can also just buy them, which I think helps us if you use them on our channel. I can't really remember, but our Pando pet, which is Randall Sand up there at the top, the little raccoon, you can feed him with bits, or sorry, you can feed him with bananas. You can interact with him with bananas. You can also unlock certain stickers if you spin bananas. You can unlock certain soundboard items if you spin bananas. So just some cool stuff that you guys can interact with us with by watching the channel.
Yeah,
So
and just to follow up with that, um, is it you made the goal 2,000
yes,
bananas?
we have our first bananas goal, which is we want to hit 2,000 bananas. And John just contributed 324 total bananas in order to play me on stream in Magic the Gathering. So
Now I also contributed with my little bits. For those in the chat or those listening, I am USS Cornfrog. So I contributed my bananas to see this goal happen because one, I am too impatient to learn Magic, but it is hilarious. And also, if in my head this is how it would work, they play, they explain stuff, and then start talking shit, and it just snowballs from there. Snowballs from
snowballs,
there.
snowball.
Snowball, snowballs from there, and I want to see this escalate from 0 to 100, and I don't think either will do this, but I would love it, and I want to put my pennies towards that. So, anyone who has bananas, anyone who is watching, please put this towards the goal because I want to see this happen. I will be there. I will be commenting, and Lord knows I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to
You
it.
guys have 10 days, so I think you'll hit it. 2,000 seems like not very many. So I wanted to play John, clearly. That's why I didn't make it a hard goal. But uh, Mike suggested, our DM, Mike, and also Fortiori here in the chat, he suggested that we make the next goal. I play either Demon Souls or what's the other one? The other Souls game that just came out, Elden Ring. So if we make a bananas goal towards that for me to play those games, I'll make it much higher, just so you know, because I am not a Souls player, but he really wants me to play those on stream. So I will do it if we hit that goal. I'll try to make it as fair as possible. But any suggestions you guys have how we can make the channel better now that we have a lot more power now that we're an affiliate, please let us know. We want to make this fun for you guys. You've made it fun for us. So, and any money, by the way, we make, we're just going to throw into the stream. So whether it be getting Kitsorin a microphone or
I was called out. Okay.
or cameras, better cameras for us, or giveaways, stuff like that. Any money we make off of this is all going to go towards the stream. We want to make this part of our community, Banana Shell community included. Shouts out to all of you guys from Banana Shell who definitely helped this stream out, and shouts outs to all the people along the way that have helped us out. The artists and the musicians and everyone else that's the cosplayers that have contributed by coming on our show and all that. It's really been helpful, and we're gonna have so much fun with this going forward.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all fun.
Also, and then my last little
Mm-hmm.
asterisk on that, on top
Mm-hmm.
of that, in the coming weeks, not this upcoming week, but the following weeks after, I will be live streaming under Nerd Bites Weekly or my own, and so I'll try to mainly do it under Nerd Bites Weekly. For I'm gonna get Tetris big again. And
Okay.
so I'm a huge Tetris fan. And so if I do an impromptu and you guys are free, come play me at Tetris. But it has to be on Xbox.
That Tetris. What is that Tetris game that's like the social one? Hey, thank you. We just got a sub. That's awesome.
The social one.
Oh yeah, there's one I forget what it's called, like Tetris Live or something like that. It's really really good. I played it recently.
I don't
It's
know.
on Games
I
Pass.
I've been playing Tetris Effect. That's the one that I've been playing.
Thank you, Alstro Marie. I'm bad at this. Alstro Mariza. Thank you so much for the sub. That's amazing. We already
I
have
just
two
want to
subs. Holy shit.
going forward. You're gonna pronounce everybody's name.
I'm horrible
I
at
want to
it.
see that. I want to see that all the time.
I'm from Eastern Kentucky. I'm terrible at this.
I love it. I'm eating it up.
Okay. So if anyone can remember the name of that Tetris game, the one that's like the social one where it has leaderboards and you can play with your friends and stuff like that, I can't remember the name. Tetris Effect. Tetris Effect. That's it. I
Yeah,
just
that's the one
remembered.
I'm playing on. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tetris Effect.
it's amazing. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
I'll play with you. That'll be awesome.
All right.
Anyway, we got a lot to get to. We could ramble all night, but yeah.
We do
So
have things to talk about.
so it was my birthday last week, and I have some things I want to talk about that happened because of my birthday. I bought some manga, so I'm full on weeb now. I started reading Fire Punch, which is the darkest shit I've ever read. It's from the same creator as Chainsaw Man. I'm trying to find Chainsaw Man issue number 1 so I can start reading that manga as well. I also started reading the Demon Slayer manga, and I purchased Solo Leveling, which isn't technically a manga. It's a webcomic that was Korean that was turned into a graphic novel, a light novel. So I bought that one. I want to start reading that. It's going to get adapted into an anime soon, so it's a hype beast. So I want to get ahead of the curve on that one. And then Death Note, which is one of my favorite animes of all time. I bought that manga, and I'm excited to read through that because I miss being a part of that universe. It's just such a fun show, such a great show. But I also watched a couple movies that are up for Academy Awards. I watched All Quiet on the Western Front, which honestly did the best job I've ever seen at depicting the horrors of war. It is a god tier war movie. It's my third favorite movie of last year, just behind Everything Everywhere All at Once, which just so happens to be one of my favorite movies of all time, and Top Gun Maverick. But just because, the sound editing and just how hype that movie was, like I loved so many things about it. But yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a German movie. It's from German perspective. The guy, I can't think of his name, but he plays Baron Zemo in The Winter Soldier or Civil War. Sorry, Civil War. He plays Baron Zemo in Civil War and also Falcon and Winter Soldier. He's in it, but it's a German movie. It's got subtitles. It's horrifying. It's so good though. And then I also watched Banshees of Inisherim. I think I pronounced that wrong, but that's okay. It's like kind of a dark comedy, I guess is the best way to classify it. I thought it was really good. Mariah hated it. She fell asleep like 3 times during it, and she said she hated it. But yeah, I really like that movie too. It's in my upper half of last year movies, so I think I put it like 8th or something. So I still really liked it though. It's got Colin Farrell in it. It's really dark, but there's some really funny parts. It just basically shows you how terrible humans can be, pretty much. So it's on an island and it's the outskirts of war. So they're seeing the war from afar and they're dealing with their own problems. So it's a very small island, but I digress. I'd recommend it. It's on HBO Max, but definitely watch All Quiet on the Western Front on Netflix if you get a chance. Go ahead.
I want to just hop on that. You
Yeah.
said that Mariah fell asleep 3 times during it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know from the chat, what movies put you to sleep? And I'm going to say Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It is a good movie, but every single time, like, it is always before it gets to the rabbit, I fall asleep. And I have to, like, wake up and watch it the next day, like, from the point that I fall asleep from. So I want to know what movie puts you to sleep? Mine being Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
How does that put you asleep? I don't understand how that puts you to sleep.
I don't know either, dude.
What? Liz is dumbfounded too in chat. Like, what the shit? It's so good.
I don't. It is a great movie. I'm not denying that. It puts me to sleep.
Okay. Well, By the way, the
So
weird
I'm
name
gonna
person that subbed is Sella from Dungeon Crawler Audio.
yes.
What's
So
up?
big
Thank you
big
so
shout out,
much. Shouts
big shout
out.
out to Dungeon Crawler Audio. You
We're
guys need to check
definitely
them
gonna
out.
do a show with them again soon. By the way, maybe not.
Hmm.
That'll be a sub goal, a one shot with them, or not a sub goal, but a bananas goal. We need to do a one shot with them. That'd be a really good bananas goal to do.
Yeah.
But lots of games came out in these last 2 weeks. Dead Space remake just came out today, which I haven't picked up yet. GoldenEye got launched as a port on the Switch, so people are freaking out about that. But Fire Emblem Engage is the biggest one for me. That came out last week, last Friday. I've been playing it pretty much nonstop. I really love it. It's really focused on the strategy aspect of Fire Emblem, whereas Three Houses had it, but it was really focused on the story and the relationships and stuff like that. And what I love about Fire Emblem is the strategy. I'm kind of a psychopath when I play Fire Emblem games. I've been playing since the first one that came out for the 3DS, which is Awakening. Uh, I play on hard mode, and I also play where units die. If they die, like if they get knocked out, they die for real. You can't get them back. So, but I also play that I can't let anyone die. So I play very turtled. I play very.
Jesus Christ, Justin, are you okay?
I'm a psychopath.
Are you okay?
If a unit dies, I start the game over. I close the game and restart it. So it's just that level. It doesn't. I don't start the whole game over.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Woo, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I'm a little bit of a psychopath when it comes to it. But it's a phenomenal game. If you love strategy games, there's really nothing better out there than Fire Emblem. So highly, highly, highly recommend. I've seen really good things about Dead Space, the remake. Apparently, they added an alternate ending, which is pretty damn cool. I don't know how they could do that though, just based off of how it ended. But whatever. And the last thing I want to touch on that we didn't really talk about in the prior week either is the Last of Us TV show and how
Hmm.
fucking fantastic that TV show has been. The video game is a top 5 video game for me of all time. And I mean, Neil Druckmann's the one working on this as well. And both episodes have been a perfect 5 out of 5 for me so far. And apparently episode 3, which comes out Sunday, is reported to be the best episode of the whole series, or at least of the first season. So I'm like, I mean, if that's the best, then they're all like fives. Because if you're
Yeah,
saying that these
wow.
first two aren't fives, then they're all going to be fives. And it already got renewed for season 2, by the way, which not surprised, but still amazing. It's doing crazy numbers. It's doing Game of Thrones numbers. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I have yet to watch it. For those of
so
you
good.
without HBO Max, hit me up, and you know what that means. So,
The code.
you know what that means.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have yet to watch that, but I do want to. While we're doing on stuff like we watched, I started watching that '90s show. Part of it was out of like, okay, I have like 30 minutes before bed. I'm going to watch something stupid, get my mind off of the day, and go from there. And I started watching it, and surprisingly, like, I don't know if we have any that '70s show fans out there, and if so,
It's a good show.
tell me in the chat. I started watching that '70s show, and it's a nice show to put on in the back and like do stuff. It's not a good show to like pay attention to. However, you start getting the like gist and the flow of the show, and that '90s show is kind of hitting it, surprisingly, and it is a nice nostalgic throwback. Bad acting, I will say. With the new characters. I mean, even with mm, I'm not gonna say even with the older characters, you get some nice little cameos and episodes that include the main characters from that '70s show. So that is nice to see again. Um, is it the best show? No. Is it something to put on and like do dishes to? Yeah,
It plays on
100%.
nostalgia the way I understand it. Mariah says she liked like the first couple episodes because it's like really heavy with the nostalgia, but it kind
It
of
is so heavy with the. It is like you're shit. Like I am back watching this, and then like it starts like slowly
yeah,
weeding it back out,
yeah,
and it is very fun to watch it in terms of that. It's kind
yeah.
of like, oh my god, I remember
I
this guy,
it's member
and then you
berries.
think, yeah.
It's member. I remember.
So So in terms of
Remember
watching
Ashton
it,
Kutcher? I remember.
I remember even the guy who plays I don't remember the guy's name. The guy who did Ashton Kutcher in the show, he has a son, and it looks
Okay.
just like him but younger, and it is cast well. I mean, like the story makes sense.
Yeah.
So it is a nice memory walking memory, whatever the phrase is,
Walk down
whatever
memory
that is.
lane.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I got you. So a couple
Yeah.
answers from the chat on what put you to sleep, like what movie put you to sleep. John also says, by the way, an anecdote about GoldenEye, no multiplayer, which is shitty for sure. But so Corinne says,
Kareem.
I fall asleep immediately during The Revenant. I understand, but that's still a fantastic movie.
I still haven't seen it, but the soundtrack is amazing because I put that on for my D&D stuff.
It's a really good movie.
It's a really good soundtrack.
Yeah, for sure. But I get it. And then John says Interstellar knocks me out. Now that one I don't understand. That's just a fantastic
that's all
movie.
Space stuff. That's John. You know what? You're not VIP anymore. You're stripped. Somebody else take his place.
Hey, hold on now. He's about to take away that sub from us.
Okay, John, hold on. You're not held hostage anymore.
And then 650 Moda says that's a great show. Talking about that 70s show. I agree. Definitely a great show.
Oh, I know who that is.
I don't.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it.
My favorite part about that 70s show is the dad. Dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Red's the best.
Red is as is, Kitty is as is, and it is perfect.
Yeah.
It's good.
So yeah, that's what's been going on with me. Something I want to quickly touch on and how it's going to affect one of my favorite shows is I'm a huge Rick and Morty fan, and I know a lot of people are. There's some really unfortunate news about Justin Roiland. He was involved in a domestic case that wasn't good. There's no way out of it from what I could see. That he definitely did this, and that's awful. Held his wife or significant other, I don't know which it is, but against their will, I guess, as well, which is just awful. But yeah, he was removed from the Rick and Morty show, and also his game studio that he co-created, which they just made High on Life. So, people are saying, it's not really going to affect the show because, I know he does a lot of voices, but people are saying, oh, it's okay because there's a lot of impersonators out there that can do a really good job. And I hope that's true, but I also know that he was kind of the co-creative mind behind the show, and I just hope it doesn't lose its luster. It feels like that show is going to crash and burn soon, and it's just really fucking unfortunate because it's such a fantastic show. And it's terrible what he did, and there's no defending him. And it just sucks. It just sucks. Why can't people be not shitty? Like, I just don't get it. Like, it's not hard to be a good person, you know?
You are asking existential questions that I can't, we can get into, but that I don't want to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm not a Rick and Morty fan. It's kind of like that question that you asked in B-Shell. What show could you not get into? And that would be a follow-up.
Oh, okay.
Breaking Bad would be the first one.
You're crazy for that, by the way.
You are nuts. Nope, don't call me crazy.
Breaking Bad is one of the best shows ever made, period.
Okay, fans. Not fans. Watchers. Fans, watchers, I think it's going to be synonymous. Would you rather watch Breaking Bad or Rick and Morty? Let's just go with that.
Real quick, Alan says Futurama greater than Rick and Morty. I never could get into Futurama. That's one I should have said. I've watched it here and there. I thought it was okay. Just not my kind of humor, I think. So
I watched a little bit of it. It's pretty good. Am I a fan of it? No, but
I don't hate it. I think it'd be cool to have on. I don't hate it. I just think it's okay.
Like The Simpsons.
Yeah, which I don't hate The Simpsons either, but I wouldn't just go out of my way to watch it.
If it's on.
Yeah. I don't know. Come on. It's objectively, it's one of the best shows ever made. I mean, top to bottom.
Are we talking about Rick and Morty or
No, no,
Breaking
no.
Bad?
Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad. Rick and Morty, I get, like, it's stupid, and I just like stupid humor. I don't care that it gets
Well,
meta so much. I just
well,
like stupid humor.
well. Then I'm gonna do this in slow motion. Ready?
Okay. Breaking Bad is it's I think it's the third best show ever made. Ever. Seinfeld being number 1, Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 5 being number 2, and then Breaking Bad being number 3. So, a couple more things here, and then we'll touch on one last thing before we bring on Trashy Art. But you said that the Mighty Nine TV show was announced.
Ooh, you guys. Okay, so everybody knows I'm kind of like the D&D person. I am your D&D guru, kind of ish. Yeah, so Critical Role, for those who don't know about Critical Role, is basically a group, a bunch of voice actors that got together and started to play D&D. And they have currently 3 campaigns, the first being Vox Machina, which they did an animated series on Amazon, which is very good. Um, Now they announced campaign 2, which is the Mighty Nine, and that is confirmed for a TV series on Amazon as well, which is very exciting because that's where I hopped into watching Critical Role. And now campaign 3 is the one that they're currently doing. So I'm very excited about this Mighty Nine announcement. That's the one that I really hopped into, and I was like, wow, like I love the storytelling. Um, and then going back to Vox Machina, they recently released season 2, and they released 3 episodes last week. I'm pretty sure I think another 2 or 3 episodes are out this week, and it is still very good. I mean, the humor is there, the action is there, the animation is great, the voice acting is great. It's
I need to
all
watch it.
voice acted. You do. It's all voice acted by the same people who did the campaign. So Matt Mercer being the DM, um, he's kind of like a side character because he's not supposed to be telling the story. It's supposed to be acted out.
Well, I mean,
But
he's an incredible voice actor himself.
yes,
Yeah.
100%. He's doing a lot of the villains. Ashley Johnson is in there
Mm,
playing as Pike.
nice.
Tellison Jeffy or Jaffe is playing Percival. You got Marisha Ray or Marisha, whatever his name is, playing Keyleth. So all the original voice actors that did the campaign are voice acting this animated series, and it is wonderful. And you have who is the guy that John VIP hit me on this. Who is the guy that voices the Titan? Um, he's a black guy. Um, the Titan in Destiny 2. Who voices him? He voices a
Yeah.
dragon. He voices a
I
dragon
know that
in
guy.
season 2 of Vox Machina,
Okay.
and it is supreme. It is beautiful. Like it is so fun to get into. Lance Riddick.
Yeah, yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
John.
Thanks, VIP.
Yep.
Uh,
So you
sweet.
guys, if you have Amazon Prime, check out Vox Machina. It's fun. You don't need to know D&D about it. It's just if you want adventure, if you want comedy, some blood, maybe a little bit of violence, get into it. It is so fun.
Zavala. What's up, Greg? Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us, Greggy Poo. I haven't seen
Yep.
you in a minute, dog. I appreciate you coming on here. Anyway, to finish up here before we bring on Trashy Art, um, speaking of D&D, Wizards came in with a
Hmm.
big announcement, and the internet won. We finally won at something, guys. The OGL is staying put.
Yep.
They're not changing it. So we won. They heard the outcries, to their credit. I didn't think they would actually do it, but yeah, it's staying. So we
Yep.
win. We
Yep.
did. We
100%.
fucking did it. We fucking did it. So
Woo.
crazy. But yeah, we will be right back on. Everyone stay put. It'll just be a couple minutes. We're going to bring on Trashy Art. So we will be right back. And we're back here with Trashy Art. Welcome to the show, Trashy. How are you?
Having me. I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing great. Happy to have you here.
Yeah, pretty
You
good.
should feel honored because you're on our very first stream as a Twitch affiliate. So
Proud of you guys. Thank you. I'm so honored.
you're also on lucky number 11. This is show number 11. I think I forgot to say that at the top of the hour, but it's all good. You do some awesome digital art and some sketches as well, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna have your Instagram page up here, and we'll kind of scroll through it as we talk. But yeah. So how did you get into making art? Like, when? What did? Well, not how did you get into making art, but how did you get into like selling art?
I actually have like been drawing since I was a kid, pretty much like most artists. And then so I don't do art full time. It's like technically second full time. So I'll do like it pretty much on weekends. Like you'll see me at conventions, but I work full time as a packaging, like a research development engineer, and then
Oh,
I do
cool.
cons on the weekends. When I was going for school, I actually had a minor in art, and I had met like some friends and like my fiance in that class, and he actually had introduced me to conventions. I had known about them in the past, but I was always like I working through school, so I never had time to really think about selling my art.
Right.
And then he like pushed me towards it, so I started selling on Etsy right before the pandemic hit, like a year before technically, so a couple months before. And then I was supposed to sell at Con, if you've ever heard of that. It was here in Wisconsin.
Oh no, I'm not familiar.
We have a Kalahari, like what is it called, water park
Oh,
in
okay.
Wisconsin Dells of Wisconsin.
Gotcha.
Um, and before Colossal Con took over there, it used to be a con called Con, and I was supposed to sell at that back in, I want to say either 2020, but COVID hit, so then they kept canceling and canceling,
Yeah.
and so I kind of ended up applying at different conventions and meeting friends and doing them more that way.
So I'm going through here, like, kind of your process on how you create. You got your sketch videos up, which is sick, by the way. Um, so is it like a process you go through every time you create digital art? Do you sketch it out first, or do you sometimes sketch it on paper and then kind of transition it over and color it that way?
I usually sketch on digital,
Okay,
and then I pretty much use that sketch as like a line art layer.
gotcha.
So I usually technically like draw on one layer.
God, these are so good.
Heck yeah.
Your colors really caught my eye. By the way, your
I was
color
gonna
palette.
say that looking like if you just open up Dustin, if you can, just for a second on
Yeah,
the
what's
stream,
up?
just go like to like where it does the picture and look at like these neon, vibrant pinks and greens, and even sometimes those yellows, those golds. That is what caught my eye. Is it is always vibrant. Even your like kind of darker images, there's always
Yeah,
that pink in there.
love the
So
pops.
I have two questions with that. Is pink or like those neon colors your favorite colors to work with? And what kind of audience are you kind of trying to obtain? Or is this more of you putting your work out and going, this is what I do. This is what I'm progressing with. Does that make sense? So it's
Yeah,
kind of a two-part question.
yeah. For the colors question, I actually I get bullied by my friends a lot because they're like, every we can always tell which booth is yours because it's so like pink. And I was like, is it really? And so at Galaxy Con where you guys or where you had met me,
Yeah.
um, when I had finished setting up my booth, I like had gone to talk to my friends, and as I was walking back, I like looked at my booth from a distance, and I was like,
It's so pink.
oh, they're right. Oh no.
It's so
Yeah, but
hey,
that's what caught my eye. I love that, like, kind of the neons and the bright. I mean, kind of our whole channel color scheme is based around that because I just love like the lo-fi vibe that I get from that. So, and
Mhm.
here's this. I pulled it up right now. The One of my favorite animes of all time came out last year, and that's Cyberpunk Edge Runners. And this image right here I bought this off of you. I don't remember where I put it, by the way. I gotta put it up in a frame. It's like with some other art I gotta put up in a frame, but it's also my phone background because this is like my favorite moment in a show in the past like 15 years probably. And I love the colors and the outlines that you painted on this. This is just like perfect. It encapsulates that moment, and I just love it so much. Well done.
The David and Lucy one.
Yes, yes, that one. Where they're looking at the Earth from the moon. Yep, that one.
Yeah. I drew that one actually relatively quickly because I was planning my layout for a convention and I was like, oh, I have like pretty much 2 of each like show print, if that makes sense. So like each show that I've done, I usually have done like at least 2 of them, if not more, depending on how much I like the show.
Yeah.
And that one I only had Becca, and I was like, okay, I want to do like a Lucy and David one. And so I was like, oh, this is how it should have ended. So whenever I submit it for like conventions for like portfolio reviews, I
Right.
like sometimes they'll ask for like titles, and so I'll just put how it should have ended.
I love it. So speaking of anime, I see you do a ton of anime art, which also caught my eye because I'm a huge weeb. Let's be honest. Um, is that kind of what inspired you to start selling your art, or because the popularity of anime had risen so much, or and also another 2-part question. Sorry about that, but and also like, what are some of your favorite animes of all time?
So I actually mainly did original art for a while, like for the longest time, and I would do like fan art here and there. So when I first started doing conventions, my booth was like 50-50. And
Okay.
then I was like, oh, like I like this show, I like this show. So like to the back to like the audience question, I don't think I fully answered, but when I do pieces, I like to do them for things that I like because then you can really tell like the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like if artists are doing artwork of things that are just popular and not things that they like, you can kind of tell almost that there's like no um like excitement about it, if
For
that makes
sure.
sense.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
I usually try and make a lot of art for things that I like, and like sometimes I'll do like niche things, or like throwback animes, which my all-time like favorite animes were like Soul Eater and like Oron High. So I had like a bunch of
Nice.
stuff of those fan art for a while. So it's pretty much like making art for myself, and it kind of just sells.
I love Soul Eater so much. I'm glad you said that. It's such a good anime.
I wish they would have like actually made the show with the manga, and I'm hoping because of Fire Force, spoiler warning, they like remake Soul Eater because of Fire
That's
Force.
rumored. I think a lot of those old animes, are going to get rehashed. I mean, we're already seeing it with Trigun Stampede, which is brilliant, by the way. It's been such a
Mm-hmm.
good show so far. So yeah, very cool.
We have a question in the chat. What program is used for the art? What program do you use for your digital stuff?
So I use Procreate.
Okay. Sweet.
Procreate.
So it's just like you can download it on your iPad, which is mainly what I use because it's like very travel friendly. And for the longest time, I have it on my phone as well. So worst comes to worst, I can like draw with my finger. But
Wow.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna ask. I mean, do you have to have like a stencil for that or not? But you just answered it, so double whammy.
All
Very
right,
nice.
cool. Ketsoran, do you have any questions right now? You usually have a few.
My camera's doing that thing, so hold on one second. Let me.
I just don't want to take over because I've still got more questions. I want to give you your opportunity.
No, that's fine. I don't think. You kind of answered it, but kind of touching back on what audience are you trying to hit most? You can. I don't know if you want to answer that in like age group, the similar interests in terms of which animes you were watching. But what kind of audiences are you trying to relate to, attract, or even moving forward in the future?
Mm-hmm.
What audiences would you like to attract? And then with that, I am going to do another follow up. so, so, so you said that you did your own art. Um, will we see that art in the future, or what is that? So it's gonna kind of lead into, I guess, three parts. Your audience, are we gonna kind of see your art kind of start shining through more personably, like instead of going based on like animes and mangas and such? And then what does that future look like? So it's kind of that three-part kind of answer how you want. And so
Sure. Audience wise, it touches back to like what I said a little bit ago, where I try to hit a lot of varying genres. So if you like scroll through my social media, mainly Instagram is where I post. I have like a lot of variety of different like anime genres, and then I do have like some random like video game art in there. So like I did some D&D charms. I did Kirby charms. I'm working currently on a 3-piece set of the dragons from Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
So mainly like audience, I guess you could say like my age range, like so like mid 20s to maybe like mid 30s, and then probably sticking around that age range. Sometimes I hit like a younger audience, like sometimes like high schoolers, or like even with like my like Monster High prints that I have, I've had a lot of parents buy it for their kids.
Nice.
That are like in that age.
Yeah.
Like maybe 13 years old. Like a couple, like they were kind of at the end cusp of when Monster High dolls came out, so it like works out. So there isn't like a specific like audience, I guess. I kind of just do what I like, and if people like it, I'm like, nice, thank you, cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. And
I
then
love that.
for the like original work, I am trying to get back more into it and trying to like mix more original work. I have some that I've cycled out, and there was a couple of prints that I bring to conventions that I usually keep as like original work. So if you scroll down, there's some back from like 2021, maybe early 2022 that I have. But recently I finally made like an official mascot for like my brand. And so, because I was like, I see all of my friends have like their cute, like little like mascots and stuff that they've done, or like their like official character for like their conventions.
Yeah.
And so, like, man, I've been thinking of one for a while. I should do it. And so I did. And like, I have a bunch of stuff planned for it. People have asked for like stickers already and like merch for it. And I was like, okay, cool. Thanks.
See if I can find it down here.
Amazing.
It should be like the 5th most recent thing.
5th most recent? Okay.
Yeah. From the top. So 3, maybe 6.
Okay, let's see. Oh, this one.
Yeah, it's like a little bat.
That's so cute. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I like use I don't know if you've ever seen the meme of where like you do the 0.5 view of things where you like take a picture from, so it's like looking up.
Yeah.
I use that little bat one where it's like looking up for things. So it's like gonna be on my new banner that I ordered.
That's amazing. That's so cool. I like it a lot.
So like for the future then too, pretty much trying to make it 50-50 again with keeping up with like all of the things that I like.
So whenever I talked to you at the GalaxyCon, something that I found really interesting about you was that you travel around quite a bit to conventions. You're all over the place. So what's like the most interesting convention you've been to? And what was the Smash Bros one you go to?
I actually didn't go to that one.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, so I was gonna go to it. It was supposed to be, I think, like last weekend, 2 weekends ago, and my friend had gone to it, and she actually didn't like it. It was pretty bad, and I was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. And I canceled on it because I was like, oh, I can take the whole month of January to work on new stuff before this next convention I'll be at this coming weekend. I'll be at Anime Milwaukee.
Okay, sweet.
It's like a bigger con for the Midwest.
Yeah.
But I think the most interesting one I've been to so far I didn't really book too many to travel around for last year because I was kind of getting back into conventions after like COVID and stuff. So I kind of stuck more around the Midwest area with like driving. I think the most interesting one though would have to be Twin Cities Con. It's in Minneapolis, like Minnesota. It was
Okay.
like one of the first years that they did it, and it had like a big turnout. But it was mainly like so much fun because all of my friends and I like that were like local to the area. We met up with like our other online friends, and we just like
Right.
shot the shit and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But this coming year for like interesting ones, I'll be at GalaxyCon Raleigh.
I've heard good
And
things about that one.
yeah, so I'm excited for that one because a bunch of my friends are going, and then I'll be at like some random ones like in Kansas City, like Planet City Comic Con, if you've ever heard of that
I
one.
have
It's kind
actually.
of a
Yeah.
bigger one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be there because my friends talked me into going, and so I snagged like a last minute booth.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, if I could recommend one, it's where we live though, or where I live, not her. She lives in
mhm,
Colorado. So in Kentucky, there's a convention called Lexington Toy and Comic Convention.
mhm,
It's phenomenal. It's like my favorite con, and I go to several a year. And I'm not just saying that because it's local. Like it just, if you like anime, it's like it's a
mhm.
heavy anime con. It's at the end of March, so highly recommend if you want to come down to Lexington, Kentucky. Put in for a booth. Highly recommend. I think they're
I'll
still,
have to.
yeah, I think they're still accepting, so you should do that.
Good to know.
Um,
Yeah.
well, Trashy, I have a couple things. I'm gonna go way off the books here.
Sure.
First, a quick announcement. We are 90 bananas away from that 2,000 banana mark. So anybody who has bananas, please, if you can, deposit them into that mark so that John and DC can play Magic, so I can be in the chat and just talk shit. Let's be real. So Trashy, we're gonna kind of hit earlier in this podcast.
Mhm.
You have to choose one. Breaking Bad
Oh, I was like, where's this going?
or Rick and Morty.
Like show wise that I like.
Which one's better?
I didn't watch Breaking Bad.
No!
Uh,
I won. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we hit our
Yeah.
goal, guys. We hit our goal. So I will play. I will play John on stream in Magic the Gathering, which means he can't watch the stream because that's cheating. Because he can see my hand, and that's cheating. Yeah. So thanks everyone for that. But I don't want to digress too much. So what's like your favorite piece of art that you've done?
Oh man. Usually if I stare at all of my art long enough, I tend to start hating it. So I try.
You're your own worst critic.
Yeah, that's pretty much most artists. We end up hating all of our work half the time.
Well, let's rephrase it. What is a piece of art that when you looked at it, you felt that sense of pride immediately? That you
Okay.
felt that, oh shit,
Instant
like,
gratification type shit.
that
Okay.
let's rephrase it. Which piece or pieces did you feel when you looked at it and said, wow, before you started critiquing yourself?
I would say probably my first dragon piece of the Breath of the Wild ones that I finished like last week of Nadra.
Yeah, I had that up earlier. I'm gonna bring it up.
Didn't know I could draw dragons. I literally went into it and I just was like, oh, I think this 3-piece set would be so cool. Like, I don't really see that much Breath of the Wild stuff or like Legend of Zelda stuff. And the new game is coming out, and I had done a Link piece where he's like grabbing out with the cursed hand for the Tears of the Kingdom coming up.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this would be really cool. And then I drew the first dragon, and I was like, nice, I can draw dragons. Proud of myself.
Nice.
Amazing.
But other than that, I would have to say the cone piece that I did with Aki from Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I really like the colors on that one that I did. I was like, oh shit, this is nice.
What's your favorite anime this past year? There's been a lot of heat in 2022.
Oh man.
Yeah.
For 2022, I had watched, or not like watched, but like I had read the manga for Chainsaw Man. So I actually followed it back in like 2021 and I had work for it. So I was
Okay.
excited when it like popped off this last year. But I'm trying to think of other new animes. I like read and watch so much stuff that I can never remember the titles to anything. But like after I see it again, I'm just like, yeah, I that's good. That was a good one. I'd have to say Chainsaw Man though. I really liked
I
it.
love it. Yeah. Did you
I
ever
think
read
they did
Fire?
really good for like the anime compared to the manga.
Yeah. Did you ever read Fire Punch? Same writer, same author.
No, not yet actually.
Highly
I was meaning
recommend.
to get on that.
Highly recommend. It's super fucking dark though, so you have to have a open mind.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. It's legit the darkest shit I've ever read. So real quick, yeah. So down at the bottom of our stream, there's a Pando option. So it's like it should be right next to. It's the pet cafe. Uh, so I can pet it, but it's just a Pando. It's right next to the soundboard. So if people want to try to interact with it, you can feed it stuff for bits or bananas rather. If someone could try to do that just to see if it works, that'd be absolutely great. Anyway, what is uh shoot, what's your future goal? What is it that you want to get ultimately out of this? You want to do this full time? This is something that Ketsoran always asks, but I took it this time. Do you want to do this full time, or do you want to like draw your own comic? We recently had on a good friend of mine, Ray Kaufman, and he started doing art like you, and then he actually was like, "Well, I'm pretty good at this. I want to write a book too," and he did. He wrote a book, and now it's getting animated. So,
Mm-hmm.
is that a future goal for you, or are you just like doing what you do?
I like doing what I do. I think conventions are fun and I'd like to do them like for a couple of more years. Like I like meeting the people, making cool friends. I would eventually like to make a comic, like a webtoon. I've always had ideas. I was planning one back last year, but then I got super busy and I just never got a chance to actually do it. So, so I have a couple of mine. I'll eventually post them.
Okay,
Hmm.
sounds
I'm
good.
looking forward to
Well,
it.
yeah, keep us posted on that, and if you ever want to
Mm-hmm.
debut anything, keep us in mind.
Absolutely, 100%.
We would
Will
we would love to debut your stuff. Um, have you ever collaborated with other artists before?
for like posts, not so much. Like I had done one collab with my friend, but I didn't actually get to finish the second half of mine yet.
Mm,
So we each sent each other like a sketch. So I sent a sketch over to them and they sent over a sketch to me and we would color it and like finish it. So
yeah.
theirs is posted. And then mine is I'm still working on it.
Okay.
So I've done that collab. I've done a couple of zines. I've done like two or three. I did a soul or it wasn't a zine, but I did a Soul Eater collab with some artist friends on Instagram. I
Nice.
think if you scroll down a bit, you should see it. It's what's his name? The evil guy from Soul Eater. I can't remember his name right now.
It's been a minute since I've seen
Evil
the
guy from
show.
Soul
So.
Eater.
The Kishin. I did him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then a bunch of other artists like joined along and did those other characters, and then
Is
I
it the
have
one
a
that's
piece.
pinned?
No,
No. Okay.
it's down a bit,
Okay.
like a semi-recent one. It's from like a couple months ago.
Gotcha.
It's like mainly red.
Okay. See if I
Mhm.
can find it. I noticed you do some video game work, and you mentioned that as well before too. Are you a gamer as well? Do you like to play games?
I do like to play games. I'm play mainly Pokemon games.
I love it.
But I have a terrible habit of finishing Pokemon games in like 3 days.
I feel you. All
So
right.
yeah.
Here's
That's a
the
Dustin
collab.
problem.
Yeah. So I definitely do that too. But I'm assuming you played Scarlet Violet.
Not yet.
Ah,
I
it's good. It's really good.
I was waiting for them to fix the glitches and all of the. If I were to get it, I would get the online version because I heard that one has less problems than the people who bought the physical copies.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I bought a physical copy and I really didn't have many issues. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, there's some stuff
It
that's
was
like,
a hit or miss.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's some stuff that's like laggy for sure. But I also think it depends on people's internet connections. And mine's really good, so I don't think I had the same issues as some other
Choo
folks.
choo for Dustin.
Hey, I work in IT. I'm like required to have that shit. So
Yeah.
I just want to do it. He said I work in IT, and Dustin is like, let me fix your mic. And I'll tell you guys what, he did some IT shit that I could never do in my whole entire life. So we'll just leave it at that.
I didn't really do anything interesting, but okay.
Just that's a side story.
Okay, tangents. We're good at that. Um, yeah. So, what did you said your next con is up in Wisconsin? Is that right?
Yeah, and I'm in Milwaukee. And then I'll be at Comic-Con in Alabama the following weekend.
You're all over the damn
Jesus.
place.
Wow. Good Lord.
Well, put
Blessed for my PTO hours.
well, put Lexington on the forefront of your thoughts. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
and if you come to Colorado, well, not just any part in Colorado, because I don't travel to a lot of places unless it's within good means. So
Mhm.
if you come to the Springs, I got you.
I was hoping, so I applied to 2 of them. There's one called Colorado Anime Fest, which I got waitlisted for, and then I applied for the waitlist of Fan Expo Denver.
Okay.
The latter sounds. I don't know about the first one. No idea on the first one, but the second sounds. I think I know what you're
I
talking
have
about.
friends that do the second one, and they said they really like it. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. But I applied a little too late because I forgot that they opened them back up in like September of last year, and I was like, oh, heck.
Ooh, that's okay. We'll see you next year.
Exactly. There's always here.
Well, I typed it out, but if anyone else has any more questions for Trashy in the chat, now's the time to do it because we're going to be wrapping things up here. But let's see. Someone said it looks like Sella says I went to the first one last year. It was amazing. So
Fan Expo Denver.
I suppose that's what she's talking about. She's from that area, so yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're talking about DCA right here. So DCA is Dungeon Crawler Audio, and this is Dungeon Crawler Sella.
Yep. Former guest on our show, good friend of the show. So, yeah. Well, Trashy, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate having you on. I love your art so much. I hope to see you at some more conventions. I hope to see you in Lexington. I'll promote the shit out of you if you're there, and I'll tell everyone to come to your booth if you do come.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
I got a question.
Oh shit, Ketsorin question. Let's go.
Trashy, is there anything that you want to promote, say, get out, or
I was getting
whatever?
there, but go ahead.
I mean, I have an Etsy. If anybody is interested in like my prints and stuff outside of conventions, I do sell them online as well. So pretty much everything there. Or if you're interested in keeping up with like the stuff I post, you can follow me on all social media pretty much. I'm on Tumblr even.
Holy shit.
Because Twitter was going shit for a little bit, so I hopped back on there with my friends, and we've kind of just been like posting shit there.
Tumblr's been dead for so long. It's so weird to go back and try to look at it.
Surprisingly, like
I'm gonna open it back. I'm gonna open up my Tumblr again. We're gonna go back to sad stuff.
I might have to as well.
it's not like 2014 Tumblr. No, that all of that has been like absolutely cleared. If you've lived through 2014 Tumblr, I'm so sorry for you.
No, it's been
You mean like
replaced with porn bots.
surprise butt cheeks?
That too.
Yeah.
I get a lot of porn bots following me, and I'm
Okay.
like, I don't care. I was like, I can't see this stuff, so I'm like, y'all can follow me, give me like the interaction. I don't care, but I eventually do like want to make a Twitch. I have friends that are VTubers that are like, you
Okay.
should join us, and I was like, okay,
One of us.
One day.
One of us.
Well, if you ever want to do a collab there, let me know. We'll definitely do that. I posted her Instagram in the chat. I think you can get to her TikTok and Etsy and everything from there. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So definitely go buy her shit. She does amazing art. And hopefully we'll have you on again. We like having recurring guests, so we'd love to have you on again.
always willing.
Awesome.
Yes. You do the next tiebreaker.
Perfect.
All right. Well,
Or another I haven't watched.
Well, last little fact about Trashy. Trashy, what's your favorite kind of cereal?
oh, okay.
Also, just remember this before you answer. The answer that you give will stay online.
Oh, it'll be.
I really like the Honey Nut Cheerios blueberry ones.
Oh, okay.
Cereal.
That's nice. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. Nice.
I'm
an old person at heart.
I like it. I feel you. Thank you so much for our new subscribers. We have 3 now, I think, which is just incredible. Thank you for our new followers. We got a few tonight as well. And everyone go follow Trashy, buy her shit, support her. She's awesome. And until next time, I'm DC. This is Trashy Art. This is my best buddy. Say it.
me. I don't want to. I'm Ket Soren.
Ket Soren. And until next time, stay nerdy.